Do you feel impatient and like you're waiting for your manifestations to show themselves? Do you feel like uneasy and you're trying to distract yourself and keep yourself busy and script and watch videos and like you're waiting, and no matter what you do, you just can't chill out? That is what I'm going to address in this video, and my intention is to move you out of waiting and into receiving. Welcome, my name is Rose, and welcome to The Rosey Life, where we help you free your mind and follow your heart so you live a life that you love. If you're interested in working one-on-one with me, you can go to RoseyLife.com, or you can join the Rosey Life course and community where we have so much fun. You guys, I am loving all of you guys showing up with your questions and your success stories, and I just love Wednesdays. Our lives are on fire. Okay, so if you're interested in doing that, or you want me all to yourself, you know what to do. All right, so I wanted to make this video because there's a success story in here with one of the Rosey Life subscribers as well that I want to share with you and implement into this lesson of impatience, and feel like you're waiting and uneasy, like you can't relax and chill, and then you seek for like validation or someone to tell you reassurance it's going to be okay, that you are going to get what you want, because you feel like you can't do that for yourself. And I want to get you out of the need to search, Google, watch tons of content, and put you more into that power that you are and receive your desires, because there's only this moment right now. There's no other moment. There will never be another moment. There's only right now. So one of the Rosey Life subscribers, she emailed me, and she was having a struggle with, to share with you guys. Again, this is a two-part Wise Board series, y'all. Okay, struggling financially. Her husband is not doing well with his job, and that's what she contacted me about. And she said she's been trying everything, and that just everything seems to be going the opposite instead of getting better. Okay, and my reply to her, right, because when I read her email, my reply to her was, there is no sense of feeling of her abundance, because who we all are, we are all pure abundance, infinite abundance. I mean, put your mind around that for a second, okay? You have more money, more wealth, more abundance of love, of success, of health, of friends, of everything. You have more abundance than you are even paying attention to. You're only paying attention to what's in front of you, what you would like to see in your bank account, or you like to be debt-free, or you like to have that relationship. You only see what's in front of you instead of looking up at everything that actually is yours. Feel that expansive feeling that I'm just like focused on getting this one little thing and then I'll be happy, which you won't be, because after you get that thing, you're just going to want more stuff, because you're created to express and have more. All right, so think about all that abundance that you're not even paying attention to. And abundance is not just money. Abundance is health, it is friendship, it's love, it's hugs, it's kisses, it's connections, it's success, it's everything. It's everything that you see and encounter. Abundance of dishes in your clothes in your closet, abundance of everything. And I've talked about this before, right? So what I did is I pointed her back to look at her abundance, right? And when she did, her entire state shifted. And she was like, whoa, I have so much abundance in my life. And she was just focused on money instead of focus on her being this infinite abundant being connected to all that is. That is all of us, you guys. And when she did that, she shifted in her, I can tell in her response, she shifted, and she was able to remember a success story. Before, it was like not even on her radar. She wasn't even able to look at that. And what she did is she said, I asked her, I said, well, what do you have And she said, you know what? I have a lot. I have a loving husband. I have my wonderful little furry child. I have a human child. I have so much love. I have so much in my life. And I said, yeah. And then she was able to share a success story with me coming from the state of abundance. Do you see that? At the beginning, there was like not even paying attention to it. And all of a sudden, she shifted and she noticed how abundant she is. And she said that this is the Rosey Life subscriber. She said, we needed a vehicle to get our son out to an adventure camp on a dirt road. She said it was like 20 kilometers out on a dirt road. And she says, but all we have is a tiny car. Right there, focus on the lack. I really need this. I need to get my son out here, but all we have is a tiny car. Immediately focus on what I don't have. However, she had noticed a silver SUV, and she said, oh wow, wouldn't that be nice? And she says, I kept feeling myself after that in the vehicle of whatever vehicle that got her to the camp. And she could even like see or feel the mud on the tires. And she said, she said she had seen an SUV, and all she did is says, wouldn't that be nice? And she felt herself arriving at the camp with mud on the tires. And she said about 2 weeks later, her husband has a friend that hadn't contacted him for a very long time. And she says, out of nowhere, wink, this friend contacted her husband and just to reconnect. And guess what he showed up with? He showed up in a silver SUV to help them. Do you see this? So what did she do? Do you see? All she did is she saw what she wanted and she said, wouldn't that be nice? You know, she wasn't manifesting a new car. She just wanted to get her kid out to the middle of nowhere adventure camp that the little car wasn't able to trek along that highway. Do you see? But what did she do? She was not able to look at this from a place of lack. She looked at something, wouldn't it be nice, went into imagination, went into where she has power, not out here looking at why isn't anything changing, should I go buy a car, should we rent a car? No, she went within and saw herself there arriving and even could feel the mud on the tires. And then that is what she ended up receiving. Do you see that? So, but how this subscriber started her conversation with me was coming from a place of lack, of not having what she wanted, really focusing on the struggle and what her husband wasn't able to do with his job in the moment, right? And when she moved state, when she started looking at what she has, she was able to see this manifestation and recollect it and share it with me, right? And I love this quote from Eckhart Tolle. And he says, impatience. This is him defining impatience, because this is where she started. She was very impatient. She was like, I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do. Where is it? Where is it? Right? Impatient. This is Eckhart Tolle. He says, the present moment is regarded as an obstacle. They need to get beyond it. It has an underlying unease. I love this. I love his description. He says, the present moment is regarded as an obstacle that they need to get beyond it. So in other words, when you feel impatient, answer, you're asking, where is it? Why isn't it come here? I've been doing everything. You're treating the present moment as an obstacle that you need to get past, that you need to move beyond, and that you want it to be over, and you can't wait to go to sleep and wake up to see if something happens then, or you can't wait to, for whatever. You're constantly wanting to escape the present moment. And you guys, there is only one moment. There's only one moment. There's only one cause. There's only one source. There's only one supply, and that is you. there's in trying to escape this moment, which is where that uneasy, anxious, agitated, you can't handle your feelings and you just want to get out of it and you want to escape and go watch more videos, or you think you need to affirm harder. You're kind of like, like trying, like crank it up, like what else I got to do? What else I got to do? What else I got to do to make this happen? Because you're not liking your moment. And guess what? The irony is there's only one moment. This moment. And in this moment is where your desires manifest. You're escaping the moment and where your desires actually unfold. And you're wanting to get away from it, and this is where it comes. Instead of sitting down or being still and receiving it, you're trying to escape the moment where your desires come in, and they can happen in any moment. In any moment. It could happen in this moment, right now. It could happen next moment. But you're trying to escape the moments, and that is what you experience, is needing to escape the moment, which is why it feels impatient. But all your desires could happen at any moment. Think about that for a second. It could happen in this moment. And you're busy researching, looking how to get out of this moment and how to get it when it's wanting to come in this moment. Because there is only this moment. This is why that verse that we hear so much about in the manifesting community from scripture of be still and know that I am God. And I was sharing this with a couple clients actually recently, and I said, be still and know I am God. And for those of you who ever had a little toddler, or you've had a puppy, right, or a nephew or a niece or a little cousin, and you've ever had to bathe them, right, what do you tell them? You tell them to be still, right? Stop moving so that you can wash their hair, right, so that they can be clean, so that they can look squeaky clean, smell good, and get all the muck off from them from the day, or all the food that's all over their face. Or if it's a puppy, the same thing. You're just like, be still. This is good for you, right? You're going to feel good. You're going to be clean and fresh. Do you see? It's going to feel good. But what happens? Resistance. Either the child or the puppy starts wiggling around and wants to escape the sink or the bathtub and wants to get out and makes a big mess, and they can even hurt themselves because they keep wiggling around. And all they have to do is just sit still, and then they get what they want, right? They get out of the bathtub. They get to go play. They get to go do what they want if they just sit still. And that's what be still and know I am God. It's like you don't have to fight the moment. You don't have to fight and try to avoid this moment. You don't have to try to avoid anything. You don't have to fight anyone. This moment, right? Allow your Heavenly Father to unfold your desires for you in this moment by being still and thanking that higher self that it is unfolding, that you are about to receive what you desire. Because if you've done it within, that's the law. The law is the law, and nothing can stop the law. Once you've directed it, and you do with your desire, with a thought, with an imaginal scene, with an affirmation, whatever, once you do it, it's already set unfolding. It's already unfolding. You don't have to constantly remind the law, because the law doesn't keep count of how many times you affirmed it or assumed it or visualized. It already took note. So further, waiting is actually a state. I want you guys to look at the feeling of impatience and waiting differently. Waiting is actually a state. It's an assumption. If you feel like you're waiting, and I shared this yesterday in the Rosey Life course and community during the live Q&A, but waiting is actually a state. You have made an assumption, some kind of assumption that you are waiting, or that you have to wait, or that things take time, or that you have to be patient. All of that just creates impatience. Do you see? So because it's an assumption, because waiting is a state or an assumption that you have declared, because you keep looking, every time you look, every time you check, every time you ask, but Rose, I've been doing it for this long, and it's been this long, right? All of that is evidence of that you're in the state of waiting. Because if you weren't in the state of waiting, you wouldn't be asking me how long it's been. You wouldn't be telling me how long it's been. You wouldn't be counting the days. You wouldn't be looking at the calendar. You wouldn't be looking out the window waiting for the delivery, right? You wouldn't be there. If you were not in that state of waiting, you wouldn't be asking and thinking and assuming those things. Do you see? So, but waiting, here's what happens. That's a state. That's an assumption, okay? And what happens with waiting, with an assumption? Well, the assumption, guess what? You create an assumption and then it's over. You have no more free will after that. Once you made the assumption, your free will's over. It ends. Boop, done. And the law takes over and through you unfolds to give you proof of your assumption. And how does it do it? It begins by changing your thoughts. You now have thoughts of where is it? When? How's it going to come? But. Do you see? And then impatience kicks in, right? This is its effect. Impatience is the effect of what? Impatience is a feeling, and it's the effect of thoughts of where is it, when, how, because you've made an assumption of waiting. Do you see? You think that you need to change these feelings of impatience and you need to meditate and chill out and say, okay, I'm going to try. And then that lasts, what, 2 hours? Maybe a day, 3 days tops, maybe if you're lucky, a week or 2 weeks, right? And then you're just like, it didn't work because you're trying to fix the effects of the assumption. But that doesn't work. This is not how it works. You're trying to fix your thoughts of the assumption. That doesn't work either. You might get some temporary relief here. You might feel crazy, like flipping every single thought and trying to feel better and distract yourself and get busy, right? But it's not going to work because your assumption is in charge. Your assumption, you cast that spell, so to speak, like A Course in Miracles says. You made an assumption, and now the law, you are under the influence of the law because the law obeys. Remember, spirit knows, meaning you declare something, good, bad, or indifferent, and the law obeys. Well, the law is obeying. If this is you, this is proof that manifesting works. This is proof that assumption, the law of assumption, is real. Because if this is you, you're making an assumption, the law is obeying you, and now you're having thoughts, and now you're having feelings. That is proof that the law obeys, that the law of assumption is real. So how do I know? The next question is, how do I stop waiting? Well, guess what? Where's your power? You move, you change assumptions. You change your assumption. For example, I have it, whatever it is, your desire, it's unfolding now. That's an assumption. This is also an assumption. And once you have this assumption and you choose this over the waiting, right, guess what? The law begins to work here too. It will now unfold new thoughts within you. Because these things happen within first and then the evidence on the outside. You now receive new thoughts. You now start having new thoughts of like, oh my God, this is amazing. And instead of impatient feeling, you feel satisfied. You feel content. You can feel it, and not because it's contrived, not because you're making yourself, you're like, I do feel satisfied. No, it's not even you trying. It happens through you. The law happens through you. You're not doing these. You're not efforting these. You create an assumption, and then the law begins to unfold through you, through your thoughts, your feelings, your inspired action. All right? So you go from waiting to, I have it. It's unfolding now. Everything is proof that it's mine, that it's unfolding. The law is a law. If as within, so without. So everything is unfolding for me perfectly. Everything is exactly the way it's supposed to be. Do you see? And I love this scripture because it's a reminder. And I'm going to give you an example that was really cool. Before they call, I will answer. And while they are speaking, I will hear. That's Isaiah 65:24. I love this verse because it says before they call. In other words, before you even ask, before you assume it, before you think it, before you visualize it, before you even do that, it's like higher self's like, I already did it. I'm on it. I got it. I got you. Right? It says, I will answer. The answer's already there. It's already unfolding. And while they are speaking, I will hear. Here's a funny example. Okay, so a lot of you guys know that I recently moved and I'm on this Alexa kick, and so all the rooms in my house have Alexa, and I love it. And I've gone around and I set up pretty much everything on Alexa. And in my bedroom one day, it was kind of dark, and I went in there and I told Alexa to turn the bedroom lights on. And one of the lights came on, and so I said, that's weird, because they weren't working. So I said, turn it off. And then I said, Alexa, turn the bedroom lights on. And then only one came on again. And I was like really like getting irritated, because I had already set it up and everything was working fine. And the light that I needed to turn on was so that I can see a certain part of my room, because it was dark. And then I turned around and I got annoyed. I was inside of my closet, and I turned around and I got annoyed, because I thought, I'm going to have to go sit there and undo and reprogram this lamp for Alexa. And this is what was going through my mind. And so I turned around, and as I was going to open my mouth to tell it to come on, it came on. And I was like, okay, that's cool. I didn't even have to ask. I didn't even have to ask for it to come on. It came on. While they are speaking, I will hear. I was all, and the thing came on. Okay, some of you guys might think that's a coincidence or weird, but it's not. There are no coincidences, because everything that is going on in your experience is coming from you. Do you see that? And I knew what happened, because I was annoyed. I was turned around and I was ready to go. I had surrendered that I had to go fix it again. Do you see? It was just like, I'm like, fine, this is just how it is right now. I'm going to have to go fix it. And then I turned around and I was going to say it one more time, and I didn't have to, because it just came on. And I started laughing. It was a little weird, and I started laughing right after that, because I was like, thank you. I was like, thank you. And I remembered this scripture, because that's how it is, you guys. That's exactly how it is. So if you feel like you're in that state of waiting, that's all it is. If you feel like you're waiting and you're asking how long it's been, but, I don't care what the reasons are. I don't care how long you've been affirming, how long you've been visualizing. It doesn't matter. If you are doing that, you still don't believe that you're going to get what you want, and you're in the state of waiting. And you can easily move out of that instantly by declaring who you are and staying there, instead of falling for 3D of the evidence out there, which has nothing to show you. The 3D is not there to show you anything other than what you keep thinking. So if you're looking at the 3D, you're like, where the hell is it? I want to speak to the manager. I want to speak to the manager of 3D, because this is ridiculous. It's been so long. Do you see? That's not how this works. You are the manager. You are the boss. You are the top dog, the CEO. You are the buck stops with you, baby. So move into that state of having and receiving, and everything is unfolding for me now. All right, my loves, don't forget, there's only one moment, there's only one source, one cause, one God, and that is you. This moment, in this moment, anything is possible. All right, my loves, thank you for watching the video. Thank you for liking the video. Thank you for subscribing to The Rosey Life. And I appreciate you guys sharing the video. Notice that my content's getting shared more and more, and I appreciate you guys. This helps get the Rosey Life content out and the word out that I'm here. And I love you guys so much, and appreciate you all so very much for being here. And I truly feel your love and support, and I appreciate your emails, and I just love you guys being here. It's so fun to watch us level up together, and just to watch everyone level up. And it's like I'm leveling up with you guys, and you guys are leveling up with me, and it's so much fun. It just feels like we're just like in this cool like family of like leveling up or something. I don't know. So I will see you guys soon. You guys are really so freaking amazing. I'll see you later. Bye.